Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Shed of Dread. And before we get started to the next article, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much. Right then, so you might know Snow Not So White and the 7 diversity hires is causing a lot of problems and people are not happy. Well, and if you remember, Peter Dinklage said that it was not right, it was fucking backwards. And I actually said in the video, which the thing will be up there, that's very selfish of him. Well, surprise, surprise. Some dwarfs are... let's bring it up. There we go. I'm not happy. Dylan Hornswoggle Postl speaks out on Snow White remake, axing dwarf roles. I told you this was going to happen because it's not right. And he says here, Dylan Postl says it's not right for Disney to take roles away from actors of his stature by removing the dwarf characters from the new Snow White. Absolutely, it's always going to happen. Why should Peter Dinklage, the self-opinionated rich little twat, ruin it for everybody else? I did say that. A great deal of controversy has spawned from the publish of recent set photos, which Disney said, no, they're not. They're nothing to do with us, and then had to admit they were lying because they couldn't admit it any further. Disney's upcoming Not So White movie, and actor Dylan Postl, if I'm saying that wrong, I do apologise, is among those crying foul. A former WWE star, Postl is a little person, or dwarf. Don't like little person, that's horrible terminology, but in any case, who rose to fame by portraying the leprechaun wrestler named as Hornswoggle. I've never watched wrestling, so I wouldn't know, but I'm sure Daniel, the legend that he is, knows full well who Hornswoggle is. In any case, after delving into acting, he would also play the leprechaun character in a horror reboot, Leprechaun The Origins. Not watched it. As the actor would explain during a recent appearance in the Uncensored with Piers Morgan, he would have loved to take his career to the next level. See, this is what Peter Dinklage wants. He's already there. He's got lots of money, and he don't want anyone else to take a slice of the pie because he's a selfish, entitled Hollywood twat. By starring in a big-budgeted Disney movie like Not So White remake. He speaks out about how his people in his community have enough difficulty finding roles in Hollywood. Told ya. Lambasting Disney by taking away what could have been several major roles for actors, which is again exactly what I said. It's not fair. Last year, the Not So White remake was criticised by Peter Dinklage, the self-opinionated arsehole who's rich, he's okay, Jack, fuck all the rest of you kind of attitude, who claimed the original story's depiction of dwarf was backwards. Well, he actually said it was fucking backwards, but it isn't. That led to Disney announcing that the dwarves will be replaced by magical creatures. It wasn't until recent photos from the set were published that these creatures were revealed to be a group of 7 people of varying genders, sizes and ethnicities, or as we call them, the 7 diversity hires. Only one of Snow White's 7 companions is a little person, a dwarf. Stop saying little person's horrible. Hate, that's demeaning. It's a terrible thing to say. Dwarf is a good idea. That's because that's what they've got. They've got dwarfism. And Postl assertion that at least 6 people, dwarfs, are missing out of something special as a result of the new direction. He's right. Why should they? I mean, yeah, there's Snow White. See, called Snow White because her skin is as white as snow. And the 7 dwarfs. You know, dwarfs, not humans. And they were all named after things. Like you got dark and bashful and sleepy and dopey and all that. There are actors, dwarf actors, that live that dream to be in a major motion picture such as Disney's remake. And now, because of what Peter Dinklage said last year, it's now taken away because of progression. Postl explains, it's not right because there are roles made for actors of my stature, roles that aren't ever really given. I can't go out for a Harrison Ford or a George Clooney roles because that's not for me. These dwarf roles are for people of my stature and it's now being taken away. I don't feel that's right. And not only that, but now I think the additional stunt actors or body doubles, you're now taking multiple actors of my stature that don't get the roles. Absolutely 100% correct. Postl also rejects the idea that the dwarf characters in in Snow White, because we're going to talk about the old one, in Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs were problematic, arguing that they were admirable heroes. As I said in the original video, if you've actually watched Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, the dwarves are the heroes. 7 dwarfs saving the princess. Oh dear Lord, how that can't be allowed. Postl says the more stereotypical characters that Dinklage has suggested they were. Postl said all these dwarves took care of Snow White. They did. They weren't quite cave-dwelling monsters that people speak of. Correct. They weren't. They lived in a cottage. They all had 7 different characteristics for 7 different actors from my community. Spot on. The Not So White remake is officially scheduled to premiere in movie theatres. No, it won't. In March 22nd, 2024. This, if it survives, is going to go straight to Disney Plus, if that's still around. I mean, let's be honest. That's if Disney is still around, considering the complete mess that they're in. The film stars Rachel Zegler as the new incarnation of Not So White, opposite Gal Gadot, who's more beautiful than she is, playing the evil queen. Casting information has not been publicly announced by Disney for the 7 companions because they don't know what they're doing, and they're all and you can go on here to explain. It's on Piers Morgan. Don't get me wrong, I don't particularly like Piers Morgan, but every now and again he says stuff that I have to agree with, and it is right that because of Peter Dinklage and because of progression and diversity and inclusivity, there's at least, well, you say there's 6 roles, because obviously 1 is already a dwarf. That's 6 roles for other dwarfs to be able to do, plus any stunt doubles and anything else, because you're probably looking at 13, 14, maybe even jobs for 15 dwarf people. An opportunity for them to get up on the ladder to be in a good film. And it's all ruined because Peter, I'm all right, Jack Dinklage, and the idiots that run Disney think not. Any case, I'm done. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. If you want to see some more videos like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you do, don't forget to ding that bell and select it to all the social medias are up above. And with that, all you need to do is just get out of my shed